everybody. It is 5:00. It is Friday. I am Melanie McAllister, and I just wanted to put a little cheer in there because it's been a week, right, Rachelle? It's been a week.
It has. It feels like it's longer. I almost didn't recognize you. I was, wait a minute, did I get them wrong? StreamYard?
No,
I wish I had something I could put on.
glasses I try to see my life through.
I have rose color glasses, but I wouldn't be able to get them fast enough. So we're just going to pretend. We're going to pretend. Hey, Mel's here.
Or the mustache that I'm always shaving off. Yes, for real.
Oh my gosh.
So how are you doing? How was your week?
It's been a really long week. I woke up almost every day this week thinking it was Saturday, the first day being Tuesday. And I'm like, oh, and I was telling our guests before we went live, I'm like, I really did wake up on Tuesday and my alarm went off. And I thought, why in the world did I set my alarm for 5:30 on a Saturday morning? And then the devastation just hit me realizing, and driving in, I was so tired. I felt like I couldn't stay awake. And in my STEAM course with my 8th graders talking about emerging technologies and self-driving cars. And I said, I could really use one of those this morning. Like just
for sure.
Let me catch a nap on the way in, but good week. Very busy, very, very busy as always. I mean, everybody, I thought that today, like everybody is tired and busy. And it just seems like it is magnified in the past almost 2 years. I don't know if it's because we couldn't do things for so long, couldn't go places and do our normal things. So we found all of these other activities and things to fill our time. Well, now we can get back to somewhat doing some of those things we used to do, but we still have all those other things we added on. And so now it's just like, I got all this stuff, but that's just my theory.
I don't know. I see a lot of people on Twitter just, talking about how the caseload is just getting more intense and, no one's really taking anything off the plate as and we all live through it. And even I am homeschooling. I'm working a full-time job. Even I broke down in tears today. I'm not going to lie. Like it all just got to me. I had to take a minute or 5 or 9, you know what I mean? And just pray about it, take some deep breaths, restart, recharge, and put some of that practice of being a teacher. Like when everybody's overwhelmed and anxious, stop. Like you're not going to get anywhere moving forward trying to push something that's not going to happen. And so if you're watching today and you're just feeling overwhelmed and stressed, I hope that we can provide some comedic relief a little bit by the end of the show. So keep around and I'll try to be terrible and say tacky things as much as possible. Before I get into that, so my manager at Spaces, Eric Dokudo, he asked us, my teammate and I, like, what is something that you want to celebrate today? And I've been putting this on every community that I've in, something in your personal best and your business best. And let's celebrate this. And I just want to ask you, I want to ask anybody that's watching, what is something that you want to celebrate that you feel comfortable sharing that you're doing well right now? Or, whether it's personal, professional, that because sometimes we get so focused and overwhelmed on the negatives, we forget that good things are still happening. And I think it helps change our perspective. Are you brave enough to start, Rachelle?
I did that once already today. Do I have to do it again?
Yeah. Well, you have to do it again because not everybody saw that.
Well, then people should go to bit.ly, /spastronauts and join the community. But no, I have been trying to be really good about taking a break, taking a nap, although some days I don't get that. Getting a walk, although some days it's too cold. I don't mind the cold, but when it's raining, I'm not going out there. But really just connecting with people in different spaces and learning new things. I mean, that fulfills me personally and professionally. And just on a daily basis with the students and having fun and learning with them and just, I don't know, just some funny things that they say. Like there are some days it's hard. You go in and you're just like, oh, I'm tired, or we have all these other things going on. And it just takes like one quick moment, one interaction, one pause, and then you kind of like recharge a little bit. But sometimes you do have to take like the time out for yourself and cry or do whatever it is. I mean, for me, normally it's just like blast some music and I'm good. But
yeah, today I cussed a little bit too. I'm not cussed a little bit. Who am I kidding? You know how I am.
Yeah.
So I will say that, my personal best, I want to just shout. I have been moving for like 3 weeks without stopping, like on my watch, my Apple Watch. I mean, even my husband notices from the behind that things are changing. All right. And it's just helping me deal with the different things. Like it's helping me deal with life in every capacity so much better with a better mindset. And then, business, personal professional celebration, like I'm doing things, in my new role that I probably thought I could never do, and that fulfills me in a way that I haven't felt for quite a while. So
Mhm.
we're gonna bring. Oh, wait. Before we bring up our guest, who I have been following for years. And remember, if this is something you want to share with us, whether we move on to a different topic, please feel free. We want to hear your personal best, your professional best, and celebrate with you. But before we bring up our guest, you have a challenge.
Yeah, I'll just say it really quick because I want to, but it ties into our guest because it's like creativity and then ties into what we're talking about, like social emotional learning and setting goals and things. So next week, Bunsey Challenge. There's a challenge each day. I'm going to give you a template that you can use. I created one of my own. And at the end of the week, everybody who shared and tweeted out their creations is entered to win a copy of my book, Unconventional, which does talk about a topic we're going to talk about here today. So without further delay, we need to bring up our guest.
Carrie. Okay. I didn't know if you were going to say anything, Rachelle, but before you introduce her, Carrie, I have been following you like literally when I first got on Teacher Twitter. You were one of the first people I followed. So this is really like a nice moment for me. And I'm sad that I'm not with EduMatch, like in the logistics manager anymore, because I know some big news is about to happen and I would have been a part of that. So I'm a little sad because, yeah. But anyway, but yeah, so I'm so glad that you're here today.
You two are a delight. I just was like smiling and laughing, and you're talking about crying. I'm like, did that yesterday? Yep.
Yep.
And then cursing, like, yeah, you love to curse. I'm like, preaching. Yep. Right there with you.
Yep.
But it is just, and then like the positive is just, you gotta, right? It's just hardcore right now. And I don't know why either. Rachelle and I were talking about that. Like, I don't know why everything feels extra. I don't know if it's because we're piling on extra or just life is just all of a sudden made us extra vulnerable. I don't know what it is, but everything is like I was talking to Rachelle about like when working with kids, how I always felt like I had a really good layer between my emotions and the outside of me, right? And it's just really, really thin right now, but it's just the reality of things, I guess. So gotta lean on your people, that's my thing. Lean on your team. They're there for you,
Yeah.
So.
Amen.
And I was going to say, Val, it's the first time you're getting to meet Carrie, but the first time I got to meet Carrie was when my dad drove with me over to Summer Spark. I always want to say Summit Spark, and fantastic conference. Like geographically, I really didn't realize the distance, but I wasn't flying at the time, so my dad made that trek with me. And I went to Carrie's session about sketchnoting, and that was something that I was interested in. And I would say I'm not creative. I have no artistic talent. Ninth grade teacher was like, "You're not going to do very well in here." I'm like, "Okay." So she was so supportive. She had the little book and she was guiding us through it and made you feel like everybody could do it. And I still have it. And it gave me the courage to like do that in my STEAM class with my 8th graders. And then with my Spanish students, just to dive into it and start with them because of the potential of using that for so many, obviously I don't have to like so many ways you can use that and the benefits of it, but even just for taking a break, like just sitting down and creating something like helps pull you back whenever you are feeling negative or you're just like there's too much work and you want to break. But she was so supportive. Like when I started, I was sharing pictures of like me drawing on board. I don't know how it's gonna go, but love seeing all the work that you do and everything that's happening now with sketch notes and the news we'll share later. I don't want to do spoiler alerts, but anyway, I was very thankful for that experience. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm here with Carrie. Like I was so like awestruck, starstruck, whatever you want to call it, because I knew of her work and just to be there in that space and learn from her was awesome.
You're amazing. Thank you so much. It's always nice to connect with people in person, and it's always special when I think any of our ideas, find a way to somebody that is meaningful. It's always really special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you inspired me to, sketchnote during when I used to go to church. I was like practicing all the sketching. I mean, it was like something, it was a real part of, And like Rachelle said, you make people feel like they can do anything, whether they feel like they're artistic or not. I do feel a little bit more artistic, but tell us a little bit, like, I know that there's probably like nobody that doesn't know, like everybody knows who you are, but just in case there's somebody watching that isn't familiar with your work, tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So, I'm Carrie Baughcum, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I have been a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teacher of students who receive supports and services through individual education plans for over 20 years. I'm in the northwest suburbs of Illinois. I'm also a mom and a wife, and I love to create and do things that just bring out the best in our students. And I really try to live by kind of a no rules philosophy. So like no matter what we're doing in life, whether it's being ourselves or bringing out the best in our students, we can find a way to do it. There really are no rules. I guess, and that's me. I'm also an author. I guess I shouldn't forget that, right? My first book, I can't believe I'm saying that, is My Pencil Made Me Do It, A Guide to Sketchnoting. And I have, and we'll talk about that soon, a second book coming out very soon. So I'm just really passionate about drawing and what it does and its power, and just hearing or being a part of those little things like both of you shared, where you just connect with something that you forgot about. Because I think everybody has those experiences from when they're little, but something somewhere along the way we forget that we have that in us. And when we remember that and unlock that, it's a really special thing. And if I could be a part of that reminder, I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, you are. You're a big part of that.
I know.
Love it.
Thank you.
I had to point out. I lost my screen just a second. But there was something I was going to ask you.
Tell us about Pass the Sketch Note.
Yeah. So you talk about seeing me on Twitter. I guess I've been on there for quite a bit, haven't I? I met Monica Spillman. She's a teacher. I think she's in North Carolina now. And I think it was not, I don't think I know. It was 5 years ago. She shared out. I could be a little random. She shared on an Instagram, hey, it's World Pass the Sketch Note, or I shared out on Instagram, hey, it's World Pass the Sketch Note, or it's World Sketch Note Day. How fun would this be? And she's like, and Monica replied in a reply, how fun would it be if we could pass a sketch note? And I was like, yes. So we joke about it. It's just two teachers with one crazy idea. And 5 years later, and probably, I mean, in accumulation, thousands of people on teams. We usually get about 150 to 200 people sign up. We have teams from across the world. One year we had teams from Australia to Hawaii that take a single idea. We usually teams of 5, and they add one idea to the paper and pass it on to the next person using Twitter. And it's just a really wonderful experience.
So they add like a sketch.
So imagine like a blank piece of paper. We have a digital team, and then we had a paper team. This year we're calling it mixed media, which is kind of fun. And so this year we decided we needed to add some life to it, because it's just everybody could use a little bit more joy, right? So we gave each team, usually the theme is Pass the Sketch Note. But this year we needed a little bit more fun. So each team got a color. So like imagine that you were on the red team. I would say, Mel, take everything that you can think about red and add a little section to the paper about how red connects with you. And you would draw your little doodle, and then you'd take a picture of it and you'd send it to Rachelle on Twitter, and Rachelle would take that picture and she would absorb all her red little inspirations and add those to the sketch note and snap a picture and then send it to me. And I would add it until the whole paper was filled. And that's Pass the Sketch Note.
That is so cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody who's here with us, if they go to Twitter and search hashtag Pass the Sketch Note, you should see a stream of what Monica Spillman and I were hoping would be a rainbow of just, happiness and color.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I scroll down and just looking at some of them, like,
when we first started, it's in celebration of what's called World Sketch Note Day, which is January 11th. 2 gentlemen started it because it looks like pencils 111, and the first couple of times we tried it, we did it all in one day. Now that was insane. Now we call it a slow Pass the Sketch Note. And so each person gets a day to kind of work on it. So it becomes a whole week celebration of just connecting. And it's a really wonderful way. I guess it was a happy accident. I'm not going to say I guess it was. Because the sketchnoting community is made up of 2 different people. You have your professionals, right? Your artists and your graphic designers, but then you also have your educators. And so Pass the Sketch Note doesn't take into any consideration of where you work or are, and it brings both worlds together. And it really is fun.
Were you a graphic designer before you were an educator, or are you both?
I have always just been I shouldn't say just been an educator. I've always been an educator. I tell this story all the time when I talk about sketchnoting. Rachelle's probably heard this one too. I don't remember before I had kids a time where I was like, drawing would be really fun to do. It was my kids that, and I joke with them all the time and they go, Mom, shut up. It's because of them that I draw. They're the reason, because when they were little, it was our love language. If I wanted to spend time with
Yes.
them, I needed to draw with them. And so
I love that you say that, because that's what we do, like on Saturdays a lot, especially when we're snowed in, because we're snowed in all the time. And my husband, he is an amazing artist, and we'll all sit down. And I never thought I was an artist, but sitting down with them, they do it. We all draw, so I get into it too. That's how our family is, and I had to do that throughout the years. Now I'm not going to say I'm not an artist anymore, because I do offer some artism that I can share with my kids. So that's beautiful. I love it.
thank you.
What a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's neat. And they still inspire me every day too. I'm a little worried about when this all started, they were probably like, 4 and 5 years old. Now they're a freshman and sophomore in high school. I'm a little bit worried when they graduate, I'm going to lose my inspiration. We were dropping them off on the bus this morning. They were throwing some slang around and we were talking about it. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do when they leave me? I'm not going to be up on all the trends. I'm going to have to actually look into I'm actually going to have to do homework, right? I'm not going to be able to rely on my cheat sheets of my kids, right?
I know. That's tough, because as I do, I just met with one of my former students yesterday. We had coffee, and she is now a junior at Baylor. And she was one of a group that I started to go and take to technology showcases in Pennsylvania. They did presentations, and so much of what I learned, I would bring the tools into the classroom, not really the drawing, but, all the digital tools. And I knew enough about them. I didn't know everything. And then the things that they would create, or the things that they would find on their own and then create, that then enabled me to kind of transfer that knowledge and share with other people. And now they're like my beta testers. And I'm like, well, now I got to do this all on my own, I don't really like how this works. I liked how it worked before, but it is nice when you have, especially when we're so busy, and to have that time that's special with you, to take a break, to do something that you all enjoy. And I haven't been able to join in your on YouTube for so long, but for a while I was joining in, and it was just so much fun just to watch you both, and the creativity and the people that would join in and to connect in that space. So it's awesome. But
are you talking about Doodle and
Chat?
Yeah,
that was a little segue
really
into that.
Segue, wasn't it, Mel?
Yeah, it was perfect.
They're really, really good. So I guess we could say that the inspiration that my children give me hasn't stopped. So I don't know how many years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I've been vlogging for a long time. I love YouTube and the idea of creating videos and the storytelling aspect of things and things like that. But I hadn't quite tapped into YouTube Live. And I was like, I really wanted to give it a shot, recording live. It's a different beast. I've learned that I love it. Now I know it's not record and have to worry about what, you're just going to go for it. It's more fun, right? And it's less planning too, which I enjoy. So I'm like, hey, Annabeth, want to do some YouTube Live with me? And we had done before that something called Idea Flood sketch note challenges, where my 2 children and I would give out these sketch note challenges once a month, and teachers would show them in their classrooms, and they would sketch note and then share them out. It was awesome. But I really wanted to try YouTube Live. And so I'm like, hey, Annabeth, you want to try this YouTube Live thing with me? So it was so hokey. We had the camera on the computer, right here, and we were talking right here, and that everything was just, when we went live, and we had a topic in a bowl. I have it right here. Its name has become the bowl that knows, because it just seems to always know what topic we need when we want to draw. And so 3 years later, and 5 seasons of Doodle and Chat, Annabeth and I, every Saturday morning at 9:33ish, because we couldn't be on time for anything, and Rachelle would join in with us. We would draw from the bowl a topic, and we would sit and doodle and chat with anybody who would join us. And that's how Doodle and Chat started. And then this last December, Annabeth and I said goodbye to Doodle and Chat as we know it. She's a freshman in high school, and as much as I know she loves me, at some point doing YouTube Live with your moms is just not the thing that you want to keep doing, But I knew I wanted to keep doing it. I loved it. I'd had this idea for a really long time. I love this YouTube show called Hot Ones. Have you guys heard of that one? It's on First We
I
Feast.
have heard of it.
Yeah, so it's this YouTube episode where Sean Evans interviews famous people and they eat hot wings that get progressively hotter as they go. It's an amazing concept because you're eating these hot wings and your mouth's burning and they get more and more unable to pay attention. So that's the difficult thing, right? As he's asking them, these are really amazing questions. And so I had this idea of like, what would happen if I did what I think people often find uncomfortable, which is drawing, and ask them questions. And so when we said goodbye to Doodle and Chat with me and Annabeth, I reached out to Mandy Tolan, Dr. Mandy Tolan, who's been part of Doodle and Chat forever and also has become a great friend of mine. And I said, hey, how about this idea of Doodle and Chat with friends? And she was like, I said, take some time to think about it. And she was all in instantly. And so this upcoming Wednesday will be our very first episode. Our guest is Stephanie Crawford, a dear friend of mine from Peoria Heights, Illinois. She's a regional Office of Education director. And we're going to have her on there and we're going to ask her questions about her and about random stuff. And we're going to draw and talk while we do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
No awesome. Chicken wings? Hot?
No chicken wings.
Okay.
No chicken wings. But the drawing, I feel like the drawing will do. We'll see. It could be a crazy idea that bombs, but it could be a crazy idea that bombs. So we're going to give it a try.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
And I love that we put the link into the comments. And so we're getting close to our game time, yes. But you've got some big news. Are you ready to share your big news?
I am. So I'm super excited to share with the world for the very first time that February 23rd is the official launch date of my second book, a children's book called Stanley and the Very Messy Desk, an adventure in sketchnoting. So Stanley, I didn't plan this. I'm wearing a shirt with Stanley, is a little 3-inch fuzzy little hamster who is creative and joyful and loves adventures and loves, like, learning makes him squeal. And so one day he finds himself in a classroom with a very messy desk, and Stanley takes readers through a journey into using the parts of the messy desk to learn how to sketchnote and how to use its parts to visualize their thinking and doodle to learn, and all the incredible things that happen when we do that type of learning.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. I hope you'll be on my book chat. And that's something that we'll embrace. My kids would love that. So that awesome. That is so great. How does it feel to be releasing this very soon? What are your emotions?
Well, you both know, I'm sure. I think every author is kind of terrified, right? You know, you're like, will people love it? You know, I love it. I think it's ready. It's like taking your soul and like bearing it for everybody to judge you, right? So I'm really excited. I hope people I hope people find it inspiring for more than just sketchnoting, that messy is okay, that learning the way you want to learn is okay, and that there's lots of fun in it, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And I agree, because I'm messy. So thank you. I feel very validated right now.
Well, I was really intentional actually about making the desk messy, because I just feel like sometimes kids that have messy desks aren't always, I don't know, they don't get enough credit for, that messy is okay, that there is beauty in there and there's goodness in there. So there were certain little things when I wrote the book that I wanted to make sure I embraced some of the non-normed things that are embraced.
Truly. Mm-hmm. And also that if you do have a lot of mess, you probably will get a mouse in there somewhere. Like, you can't, like, that will happen. Believe me. Okay. So, but we have a cat. No, it hasn't happened recently. But no, I love that concept. I'm so excited. Do you know what day it is actually coming out?
February 23rd is the launch date, Wednesday.
Awesome. And do you already have a link for pre-orders or anything like that?
Not yet. I'm still working with Sarah Thomas from EduMatch and Mandy.
Awesome.
Freilich, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you get the link, when you get the pre-order link, then make sure that you drop it into our Thrive and EDU community, or share it and tag me, and I'll drop it there. Yeah, because we definitely want to promote that for you, and then we'll put this episode back on and be like, you can find out about it here. Now go order it.
Thank you. Yes. That's awesome.
Congratulations. And that is amazing. Are you ready to play a game?
Yes, I love games.
Yes.
Can't wait to see what it is.
I wish it was something to do with messy or props, but I just feel like having fun. We
Good.
have a couple of choices. I didn't ask you this beforehand, so it's my fault. Would you rather do
for it.
this or that, or would you like to do rapid fire?
Oh, let's do rapid fire.
All right. I like
Good
that.
choice.
It's been pretty funny lately, and we
Oh,
may go
dear.
over. So if you can't go over, you got to stop me.
I'm all
Okay?
good.
Okay. So if you're watching this and you've been playing along with the last few shows, please continue to play along. I really hope that Rachelle's mom is watching because she always has good answers. Okay. Oh my God, this one is so funny. I'm just gonna ask it, even though it's so inappropriate.
No.
I'm gonna ask it. It's terrible. What are you thinking of doing to me right now?
I would like to give you the biggest hug and a kiss on the cheek. Mwah!
Thank you. Mwah. Yes, thank you. That's such a terrible
Oh my gosh.
What is Carolyn? Carol says I'm playing.
Oh, which
Playing.
time out? Time out, I have to say, because Carolyn, we had Carolyn on with oh geez, it was probably 12 months ago. I was gonna say within the last 2 months, but it was a little bit long. Jabu Mind, yeah. So
Okay.
talking about like teacher wellness and self-care, if you're experiencing what we were talking about earlier, go get that app because it will help. But that was giving me a chance to think. My mom's answer is the best.
What did she say? I'm looking at the next one and it's terrible.
Like she said, have whatever you had to like give you the energy and everything. So she wants to know whatever you had.
This next question is so inappropriate that I'm afraid that
Another one?
Yes, I'll be fired from this show if I say this one.
Yeah, let's skip that one.
Okay. Oh my God, this goes exactly with Stanley. Who is the messiest person you know?
Oh dear.
Me?
My Annabeth.
I don't know.
She leaves a trail. She doesn't clean up after herself at all. And I think it's my mom and my dad's curse because they say, you're going to have a kid just like you someday. I did. And it's my Annabeth. do you tell Annabeth that too? No, because I hated that. My parents told me it. My dad used to take my stuff out of the living room and throw it in a pile in the laundry room because he got so tired of cleaning up after me. And I told myself I'd never do that. I haven't done that yet. But she leaves a trail everywhere she goes. Everywhere. And I love her so much, but she's a mess. She likes to straighten up, but she doesn't like to clean up.
Right, right. I love it. Rachelle, you're outed. And I just want to say that my parents did the same thing, Carrie, and I do say it to my kids because I said, this is what my mom always said to me. And it came true because look at you. So
oh my God.
It's real.
See, my mom put maybe because I'm thinking it's a toss up between me or my dad. So I'm just going to say the messiest person I know, it depends. I mean, I'll throw myself out there. Sometimes I am messy in like my workspace when I travel and it's just me in my room. I mean, the suitcase is open, the clothes are out, my work papers everywhere because it's just me. So I'm living out of a suitcase for 2 days. So I am messy, but I tell you what, I know where everything is. Oh yeah, she did just move and maybe dad.
Oh, she's trying to stay in your, yeah. Nice save. That's wonderful. I'm probably the messiest person I know besides my kids. Okay, another question, and these ones are, I have a couple funny ones coming up, but this one is just, what is the most useless talent you have? Useless? Yeah. Oh, I am really good at making analogies to like my things that happen in my kids' lives. I really feel like I'm good at that, you know, and they'll go, and they're good in the moment, but that has no real life application. Like it doesn't do anything for me, but I'm really good at making ridiculous analogies about things that happen in their lives.
Yeah, but that is a talent though, I think. I mean, that I would say.
Do they appreciate that talent?
They do.
When they roll their eyes, they appreciate it. Yes. You know, right. It's a little bit of love.
My useless talent, it's not really useless. I'm totally making this up because I can't, everything that all the talents that I have are very useful, I'm sure. But peeling carrots. Oh God, I've peeled a lot of carrots today. That is not useless. No, I'm hungry, so no. I was just thinking about like what's something that I do quite often that is like I'm pretty good at. So it's because you know I get asked like, "Do you want some help with that?" I'm like, "Nope, got a system. Like peel them up, dice them up, put them in the oven." So
I have a whole story about peeling carrots, but I won't because it's a trigger. It's just not going to happen right now. But
Okay.
my useless talent is that here, look closely. I could do this with my tongue. I can turn it all the way sideways. I didn't know that a lot of people can't do that.
I think I can too.
I'm just going to assume that I can't not try.
We're tongue sisters.
Yes. Oh my God. And I don't feel threatened in any sort of way. Like, we can be tongue sisters. That's amazing. Okay, I can't wait for Rachelle to answer this one especially. What is the worst smelling place that you've ever been?
Oh. So we went to Yellowstone one year, and my dad took us to every geyser, and after like the 20th one, it's a really stinky place. So that's it
The
for
sulfur?
me. Yeah.
That is the worst smell. I've had a headache over sulfur.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, can I say the first thing that came to my mind is anytime after my husband's used the bathroom, like that is like the worst place. And it is at my home.
Yeah. I was going to say Georgia when I was in Georgia, just because like the sulfur smell was like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Nothing too exciting for my answer, but it's okay.
Marianne, I hear you. Fish. I love fish, but I don't always love smelling it.
She hates fish. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. All right. What is the dumbest injury you've ever had?
Oh, gosh. I'll go first. So
okay, good.
and it's not, I don't think this was like what actually did it. I think it's kind of like for other, underlying episodes that caused this, but I leaned down, this tells you how far back it goes, to put a videotape into the VCR, and I felt a snap in my knee, which was a tear in my meniscus.
Oh my gosh.
So there's two. I'll share two. So that was one of them. But of course, from years of like dancing and things like that and running, whatever, it was there. It's just that was the last thing. And then I did break a toe. My parents were having some friends over the holidays or something one time, and I was working at Denny's, and I had to go to work, and I was rushing around, and I didn't have my shoes on yet, and I walked in the kitchen, and I kicked my right foot into a case of beer, and I broke my little toe, and I had to go to work, and it was like the worst pain. There's nothing you could do for that.
Wait,
but yeah,
you could drink one of those beers or 5.
I was going to work.
I was going to work.
Yeah,
I wouldn't stop. Wow, that is painful. And your mom says that she, broke a thumb playing tennis.
Yeah, but at least you broke your thumb playing tennis. Me, I like tore my meniscus. I tore my meniscus putting in a videotape, for goodness sake.
She thought it was Carrie, do you have any dumb injuries?
I think, I mean, I think it's our age. I remember waking up one morning and I had like pulled a muscle in my back from sleeping. Like, is that the most ridiculous thing? Those sleeping injuries, Oh no, it wasn't my back. I couldn't raise my arm above my head for like almost a year because I had slept wrong on my arm and like pulled something in my arm from sleeping. I think it's just an age thing.
That is the worst. I can't even imagine. Actually, I can, because some dumb things have happened. I think, I don't even know. Like, I feel like I bite my tongue a lot, and I bite the side of my cheek a lot, like more than people should on earth. So I'll say that is really dumb. Okay, next question. Are we okay? We've gone over time. Are you guys okay for a couple more?
Yep.
All right. That's a frozen shoulder. Thank you, Marianne.
Oh, thank you.
And I wondered if Marianne was drinking some of that beer that Rachelle picked when she wrote that one. Tripped over my Nancy. Oh, my Nancy nurse doll. Oh no. Oh my gosh, that is so terrible. Okay, next question. What is the worst purchase you've ever made?
Oh, me. Purchase I've ever made.
I always feel like my worst purchases are like food that I hate.
Yeah.
Or food that you think you're going to make someday because you're going to be all fancy when you're going to actually cook, and then you don't cook. That's my favorite,
That happens every week at our, or the salad. The salad, that's the dumbest thing, because we always buy this huge thing of salad. We put it in the fridge because I'm going to eat healthy for the week. It never happens.
Or just go grocery shopping, and then you go out and get food because you don't want to cook on the day you go grocery shopping. That's always fun.
Exactly. Or yes, or if you don't eat anything and then you go grocery. Yeah, is that what you just said? But oh my gosh, the purchases you
Like
make.
you go grocery shopping, your refrigerator's full of food. You're like, let's order out.
Guilty.
Yes.
Yes.
Done that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything. No,
I can't think of anything either.
We've had some I'm wondering if the treadmill I just got is a dumb purchase because I got on it a couple of nights ago and I thought, oh my God, 3 miles an hour. I've taken my legs off. I'm just like, I'd rather dance every night to get, my move streak. Okay. What quote? I love this one. I hope you have something good to share about this. What quote or saying do people spout out but is complete BS?
Oh dear. I don't know.
Cleanliness is next to godliness is one that always comes to mind. So stupid.
Oh yeah, that is stupid.
Yes. And it goes along with our messy people. You're good. Okay.
Yeah.
You're accepted. We love you.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm big on quotes too. And I can't think of ones that
yes.
I feel like COVID and teachers have brought that out too. Like people will spout these positive stuff and it's just like, shut up. Unless you're in the bathroom, like I really don't want to hear your opinion. I don't know if I should have said that on this place, right? But I did say it. Sorry.
I'm just saying, right, Marianne? I'm just saying. Or bless your heart. Or not to be offensive, not to offend you.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody.
I know. Then I'm like, just don't say it then.
Right.
Or don't say, I'm sorry. Or yeah, I don't want to offend you, or I hope this doesn't hurt your feelings. Then don't say it. Just don't say it.
I hope this doesn't hurt your feelings, but I'm just about to hurt your feelings. Okay.
Exactly.
Get the tissues.
My mom wrote, I'm just saying. Meanwhile, I've said that a couple of times, but in the classroom, I'll say that to some of my students sometimes, like, I'm just saying, like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
True.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
That was one that came to mind. I don't know.
It is. And I agree with that. Okay. The last question I'm going to ask is this. This is a good one. It's kind of mind bending.
Oh dear.
What job doesn't exist, but it should?
Oh.
It's like prediction for the future.
Yeah.
We have to be deep about it, I guess. Huh?
I know.
I know that I should not using that one, but I just thought it was a good question and I'm full. Like, I like those dumb questions that are so good.
I was thinking about a teacher should get secretaries, like teams of teachers should choose secretaries to make phone calls and schedule appointments and run copies and do all the email stuff that we have.
Yeah.
Teachers should get assistants,
Yes.
And not teaching assistants. They should be in the classroom to teach with us, but we should get assistants to make all our phone calls and schedule all our stuff and do all that ridiculous stuff that we spend time doing every day. It's not ridiculous.
Or just watch the kids so people can go pee, That is really important. It sucks when you have to hold it. Like, I become so unbearable to be around when I've been holding my pee for hours. And, it just shouldn't be that way. Like, you should be able to go to the bathroom when you need to. Everybody should, period.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So that's a really good idea. I like that. And I know that our teachers with younger students usually have assistants like pre-K, but it should be across the board. Like, if you have to have somebody in the room all the time, you should have an assistant so that people can go pee. Just saying.
I like that idea. I don't have anything better. So.
Okay. Do you have any questions, any burning questions you would like to ask?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that is the end of our show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Carrie, thank you for being a guest. I always ask this very end. Are there any last words that you would like to share with us?
No, thank you so much for having me. What a way to end my week. And thank you to everybody for being here with us, and have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.
Yes. And remember that even in the midst of chaos, there are still some good things out there, and you can still celebrate even the smallest things that are happening in your life that you are really appreciative of. And congratulations on your book that's coming out soon, Carrie. We are so excited. All right, everybody. See you on, and you said see you on Tuesday, new time.
Yeah, on Tuesday at 7 instead. Just a little slight shift in schedule for next week, for next week. I'm just saying.
No offense.
No offense. I'm just saying. No. But we have Dawn Harris coming on Tuesday night. So hope everybody will join in then. And then we will, after that, see you here next Friday. We have Carly on.
Yay! Oh my goodness. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.